To know that people can come together, work together for a cause, not just for the church, but to help other people out.
The Mallard Creek Barbecue started as a family event 87 years ago to pay off church debt. It's still a family event, only now the family is much larger. For Carolina Impact, I'm Jason Terzis reporting.
Thanks, Jason. If you missed this year's fun, don't worry. Plans are already underway for the 88th annual Mallard Creek Church Barbecue in 2017. So you know, Mallard Creek Barbecue was just in its 10th year when America entered World War II. During the war, the U.S. government launched a campaign to recruit women to join the munitions industry because there just weren't enough men left to get the job done. Carolina Impact's Jeff Rivenbark introduces us to a Charlotte woman who, along with millions of other women, did her part to help the war effort.
December 7th, 1941, Japanese fighter planes, bombers, and torpedo planes attacked Pearl Harbor. 90 minutes later, more than 2,400 Americans were dead, nearly 1,200 wounded. The attack thrust America into World War II. Back in Charlotte, Dot Horn had just turned 18 and just finished high school.
I was going to King's College, taking secretarial training at that time.
During the summer of 1943, there was a growing need for women in war industries, and Horn wanted to do her part.
Well, the first thing I did, I took a civil service exam. In 4 days, they called me and told me to report to Morris Field.
Morris Field was a small Army air base in West Charlotte used to train pilots and maintenance of aircraft. Horn and other women went to Pennsylvania for additional training to work on these planes.
In the mornings, I took blueprint, learned to read the blueprints. Then in the afternoons, learned how to use the drills, the rivet guns, and learned what a generator was and what air compressors were and how they worked.
A few months later, she returned to Charlotte and started working on military aircraft.
And sometimes I'd be lying across a rod in the back of the fuselage bucking rivets. And sometimes I would be on the top with the rivet gun shooting the rivets. I would just fill my mouth with the rivets and I'd pull one out and put it in the hole and pull another one out.
An old newspaper photo shows Horn repairing a plane.
I was working on a glider, which we only worked on very, very few of those.
All the day long, where the rain or shine, she's a part of the assembly line. She's making history, working for victory. Rosie, the riveter keeps
Horn and more than 2 million women worked in war industries building ships, aircraft, and weaponry. Rosie the Riveter became a cultural icon representing women who rolled up their sleeves and performed factory jobs once considered man's work.
And we had big sheets of metal that we would cut and drill the holes in it, and we had to learn all the terminology of the plane.
While most buildings at Morris Field have been torn down to make room for improvements at Charlotte Douglas International Airport, the original hangar at the end of runway 18 left still remains. The deadliest war in history dragged on for 6 years and ended on September 2nd, 1945.
We all got uptown and we took over the streets and we marched the streets, and it was just so wonderful. It still brings tears to my eyes till today. It was just a great time when that war ended.
At 93, Horn's filled with pride when she remembers what she and other women of her generation did for the country.
I felt like that women contributed. I think it would have taken a lot longer to get that war over if the women hadn't stepped forth and gone out into the workforce because there were just not men left to do it. It was an era of history that America pulled together. And I know that there'll never be another time like that.
Without a doubt, women like Dot Horn played a significant role in the success of the Allied victory in World War II by joining the industrial workforce when their country needed them most. For Carolina Impact, I'm Jeff Rivenbark reporting.
Thanks so much, Jeff. If you'd like to hear more stories like this from other people across our region who played a role during World War II, make plans to watch Trail of History, Tuesday, December 20th at 8:30. Well, before we say goodnight, we want to remind you to friend us on Facebook for a chance to win monthly prizes. This month, we're giving away a pair of tickets to see Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood live, coming to Charlotte January 22nd. All you have to do is like our Facebook page. We'll pick the winner Friday, December 16th. If you don't win, you can still get tickets by supporting PBS Charlotte. You'll find all the details on our homepage at pbscharlotte.org. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We always appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you back here again next time on Carolina Impact. Good night, my friends.
Production of PBS Charlotte.